Anything you want to say? Welcome everyone to the range test of the Tata Curvv EV. This is the 55 kilowatt hour version, and we will be driving it on the hills, inside the city and on the highway to see what the real world range of this SUV coupe is like. The car's charged up to 100%. We'll be driving in eco mode with the AC on, set at 23 degrees, and the regeneration as per the situation demands. So let's get on the road. I think I've got a lot of driving to do today. Not that I mind driving one bit, but the real question was, how much? Now I know for a fact that the Nexon EV with the 40.5 kilowatt hour battery pack can do 280 to 300 kilometers of driving on a full charge. In fact, we have range tested the Nexon EV multiple times with load, without load, what have you, and we have achieved that number. With the Curvv EV, the expectations are obviously higher because it's got a massive 55 kilowatt hour battery pack. The official claimed range of the Curvv EV stands a little over 500 kilometers, but we know that's far from realistic, which is why Tata's gone ahead and done one better, I'd want to say, by claiming a C75 range. This, they say, is what 75% of their users in the real world can very realistically achieve. So for the Curvv EV 55, it is estimated to do 400 to 425 kilometers on a full charge. Now, is it going to actually do that? That is something I am quite excited to try out, but also kind of scared because I've got no co-driver with me, and for the entirety of that 400 kilometers, I will be driving solo. So pray for me. The drive towards Lavasa was largely drama-free until... Okay, a little surprise in store for us today. Our usual route up to Lavasa is shut. So we are taking a U-turn earlier than expected. Currently, we've done a little under 41 kilometers. Battery is at 89%. Range is at 299. We will head back on towards Ambi Valley straight up, and we'll see how we can make up that extra 30 odd kilometers somewhere along the way. Quick breakfast in, we battled our way out of the morning rush hour onto the expressway. Maintaining a consistent 90 to 100 kilometers per hour on the highway, we found ourselves at the first toll with a blacklisted FASTag. Considering I was annoyed already, I decided to call Tushar up. For now, I have paid twice the toll for a road that's bad. The car is on track to do 400 kilometers almost.
Okay.
So yeah, let's see. Also, welcome to this episode of Drive to Death, where you are in the episode even though you're not.
Oh, acha. It is a
Anything you want to say to the ladies and gentlemen who are missing you?
Like, share, subscribe.
You heard the guy.
Seriously though, like, share and subscribe. Anyway, a smooth drive on the expressway later, we moved into Lunala and up to Ambi Valley. The Curvv EV gave me no reason to sweat just as yet, as it was very well within its comfort zone.
Alright, we're making the climb up to Ambi Valley. 65% of charge left. 136 kilometers odd driven. Now, because we could not do the incline at Lavasa, I might just do the Ambi Valley loop twice, just so that we're extra hard on the curve. Should we? Okay, we should. So back up towards Ambi Valley from Aina Shivaji for another 30 odd kilometers of incline and declines. Let's do this.
Another trip up to Ambi meant the charge would take a serious beating, and by this time we were at the halfway mark.
Anyway, at around 50%, we've got 197 kilometers of range and the trip is at 183.4. So yeah, it does look like the Curvv will at least come close to 400 kilometers for the day.
Now that might just be possible for the Curvv EV, but certainly not me. I needed a quick recharge myself as I drove down towards Mumbai. The plan was to turn around at the end of the expressway and make our way back up to Pune.
Alright, taking the U-turn at Kalamboli. We're at 33% of charge left, a third of the battery left after doing 270.1 kilometers, and the average energy consumption is at 133 watt-hour per kilometer. Now the charger we usually charge at is a little under 120 kilometers away. The range is at 139. Considering we'd be going uphill, that should be cut to cut. Onwards!
The Curvv EV felt very familiar to drive, mostly because I've spent the past few months driving a Nexon EV around, and it's only fair I give you a quick comparison of the two.
Here's the thing, the Curvv EV feels like a polished, a more refined version of the Nexon EV's recipe, like a Nexon EV 2.0 if you will. There are minor differences, the way the regen kicks in, the smoothness with which it does is noticeably different no matter which level of regen you've selected. On the features front, what the Curvv is doing better is probably not super critical in my books. I mean, I could live without a power driver seat, I could live without ADAS, especially in Indian conditions. But largely what the Curvv does to make you want it is look the way it does. That coupe design definitely turns so many heads, and especially if you pick it in one of these colors, wow, it is quite something. It is an attention magnet, and I really hope Tata does a nice dark version of this, because this design is kind of made for bigger wheels and a sinister black attitude. Nonetheless, speaking about bigger wheels, this thing's riding on 18s compared to the Nexon EV 16s. Not a world of a difference in the way both of them ride. Both are quite comfortable. This obviously has a slightly stiffer edge compared to the Nexon EV, but nothing that you would call remotely uncomfortable. On that note, when I was driving the Curvv EV up and down Ambi Valley, I really did appreciate the balance that the car has. It just feels very predictable. You can stitch one corner to the next. It is quite enjoyable in that sense. Also, I have to talk about glitches. Nothing here has glitched so far. Both screens work. Everything here is working. The ADAS is also functioning absolutely as intended. But one of the DRLs is wonky. It has a mind of its own. And only one of them is functioning, which I believe is that one.
All that solitude in the Curvv EV had me reflecting a little. So I called up Tushar. Again.
Hello.
Tushar,
Huh.
you know how I've always on Drive to Deaths wished that you drove longer, had the worst day, and all of that?
Yeah. That you always rubbed in.
Yes, I take it all back, my friend.
Why? What happened?
Right now, we're just about crossing 300 kilometers. I've got 25% of charge still left and another 84 kilometers of range. So I now believe in the concept of karma.
What is karma? It's karma.
Sorry, karma. Karma.
इतना Star World देख के ना.
अरे ठीक है यार, हो जाता है. तू खिचड़ी देखता था, मैं सारा भाई देखता था. उतना ही फर्क है और कुछ नहीं. But yeah, so on the map I've put the usual charger. That is 81 kilometers away and the range is 84.
Yeah, it'll make it easily. Because once you start dipping below 20, it will start optimizing for more range. Now, maybe not 20, 15, I think.
Yeah, so the regen will become, more strong then. Right now it's just, disabled sport mode, as is the case with all Tata EVs. But it's perfectly normal to drive. 300 is also where the Nexon EV usually taps out.
Like completely in this test.
Yeah, so I am at 300 with 24% still to go.
Chalo, enjoy. Hopefully before my flight lands in Coimbatore, you will be done, I think.
Done or stranded, either of the two. Either way.
Business as usual.
Business as usual. Chalo, see you.
ठीक है, चलो.
Bye-bye.
A few moments later.
Okay, we're just crossing the ghats of Lunala, and I've realized that the range is actually tumbling a lot faster than I thought it would. We've got 50 kilometers of range at 17% battery, 313.5 on the trip, and 141 is the average consumption. I need to travel 66 kilometers. That's a delta of 18 kilometers already. Oh boy, we might be cutting this a little too close.
A little too close indeed. The next 15 odd kilometers saw the battery drop charge by 7%, and I have to admit, I panicked just a little bit as the car went to low performance mode and our old friend, #powerful Piyush, showed up on the dash.
Okay, so performance is throttled. We are at 10% with 329.5 kilometers on the odo. I need to go another 50 kilometers. Now, in a best case scenario, this car will probably do 4 kilometers per percent, which means 40 kilometers at best. But now that the performance is throttled, I wonder if I can probably crawl or inch my way to the charger. If we manage to do that, the Curvv EV will end the day having done around 380 kilometers. Let's hope we make it, because I don't think there are any other chargers on this route otherwise. Help.
If being a little jittery wasn't enough, the Curvv EV decided it'd be fun to add some drama to the drive.
Okay, the car has decided that it wants to accelerate on its own. We are at 77. There is no cruise control, absolutely nothing. My foot is off. My foot is completely off of the throttle, and it is accelerating. Okay, the slope notwithstanding, it shouldn't be doing 80.
But the things my baby do,
What is happening?
I can't live without.
See, it is doing 80. And it's climbing.
The things my baby say.
The slope's not that harsh that the car will accelerate by 30 kilometers per hour. It's just not. I've gained a percent of battery somehow, which is great, but
She'll do anything I please.
you think we'll make it, Samir?
We better.
So 35 kilometers to go at 8%. Best case it does, worst case it does 30 kilometers, best case it does 35 or 36. Oh, this is going to be very close. Might have bitten off more than we could chew. Might.
Soon enough, we were down to the final 5.
Okay, if you can hear the beeping and bonging, that means the car is officially at 5%, 354.7 kilometers driven. I can't see range. I've got another 26 kilometers to go. Oh, will the Curvv EV make it?
Ah, the things my baby do for me, are so very, very hard to find.
After 10%, the car's performance is really throttled. You will do 40 or 50 depending on the car's mood, which is genuinely scary on a highway. It is still perfectly drivable, especially if you're within the city, you will not have an issue. But if you are going to be doing highway trips in the Curvv EV, just make sure you start hunting for a charger around 25% and put it on charge earliest by 15, because post that it is a test of nerves.
To calm my nerves, however, I had an unusual backup plan.
अंश,
हाँ जी सर।
क्या कर रहे हो आप?
सर कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूँ, बताओ।
अच्छा, listen, I might run out of charge at the end of the expressway.
Okay.
I might need help.
Okay.
So I gave some very specific instructions while putting some trust in the Curvv EV at the same time.
ठीक है ठीक। अच्छा, वन मोर थिंग।
हाँ।
इसमें V12 का केबल है कि आपके पास है?
V12 का केबल मेरे पास है, V12 का केबल मेरे पास है।
ठीक है, मैं आता हूँ।
चलो, you can do this, Curvv, come on, you can do this. Okay, we're still at 2%, and where's our savior? Where's our supposed savior? In case we decide to get stranded. Oh, there he is. There's the Nexon EV. There, right there. There it is. Chalo. I think we'll make it. If not, I know I am not dying in the middle of the road for sure. Both the Curvv and the Nexon are capable of V2V, which is vehicle to vehicle charging. So yeah, in case you've got other friends that drive EVs, they can actually come and bail you out. For now, I think it's going to comfortably make it to the charger. We've got about 2 kilometers to go and I've got 2%. So yeah, let's do this. Home stretch.
I was at a little ease now, knowing I'd make it, and I have backup just in the off chance I didn't.
All right, down to the final 1%. Hello, fellow Curvv EV. I am at 1%. Please give me V2V. Abey bhai. We will go to the charger, which is another 600 meters that way. Pum pum pum. Now this has been the mother of all dot-to-dot planning. I can't believe we've actually kind of traced it right down to the final kilometer, right down to the final percent. All right, we're at the charger with 1%. I want to say less than 1% to spare. 381.3 kilometers on the clock. It could probably do another 2 or 3. The Nexon does anywhere between 280 to 300. This one will do anywhere between 360 to 380 depending on the load that you're carrying. Now we haven't been particularly kind to the Curvv EV because we missed the loops of Lavasa. We did 2 rounds of Ambi, but 381, that is the final number for the Curvv EV with the larger battery pack. Like, share, subscribe, and I'm going to call Tushar and Amay and ask for a pay raise. See you. Bye.